Fight, 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 fight.
Hypocrisy.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Explaining the Interwebs. Oh my God. I'm your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And dude, sorry, I was not intending to be late, but my kids have a cousin hanging out here tonight. And sometimes, things come up right at the last minute, but we are here, we are live, and we're ready to go. So tonight we have a couple topics. And they're strange. So over the weekend, I had grabbed several stories to cover today around January 6th. There's some big stuff going on January 6th with one of the January 6th defendants who's been convicted. One of them who's been convicted, Jacob Chansley, is now looking to withdraw his guilty plea. So that is one of the stories. The other one that I was thinking of when I started talking was actually a guy who has not been fully tried yet. One of the charges against him involves this intention to interfere with a government proceeding. And if I'm not mistaken, the original intention of the statute had nothing to do with parading, trespassing, protesting, or ticketing. It was actually a statute targeting various financial and or technical means of white-collar crimes to interfere with a vote of Congress. And so the argument, again, if I'm thinking of the right case here, because there's a couple, the argument around it is basically that this statute is being misapplied under the criminal law, and it serves as a massive chilling effect on protected First Amendment activity by basically making any demonstration or protest into a chargeable felony if Congress determines that it's somehow intended to interfere with their affairs, which, again, the original intent of the law, the original use of it was around using direct means, either financially or electronically, to actually interfere, not being outside expressing your distress with Congress, or even in the building expressing your distress with Congress, and they get apprehensive about it. That was not the purpose of the statute. So there's a big sort of push to have that particular statute ruled inapplicable to the January 6th people. Makes sense, right? If the criminal law is actually intended to cover a different activity, and this application of the law would make the law as written overbroad, unconstitutionally vague, and impermissible under this idea of being the least restrictive means on controlling speech, because speech obviously is supposed to be a favored activity, preferable towards free speech. Any intent to infringe upon it requires a compelling government interest and the least restrictive means test, meaning that the means being applied cannot sweep up otherwise constitutionally protected activity. And this one looks like it does. That being said, so that's a big case that's going on with January 6th, along with Jacob Chansley looking to withdraw his guilty plea. Now, Chansley was sentenced to 41 months in prison. He served, I think, 27 months or something like that. And he is out on probation at the time. But if he withdraws his guilty plea and qualifies for a retrial, he could, in theory, go to jail for much, much longer than the 41 months he was originally sentenced to. So it's kind of a complicated issue. And I don't know if it's sparked by this other January 6th case in which there is a teacher who's been sentenced extremely harshly for the crimes that she is convicted of. And at her sentencing, she refused to apologize and instead unleashed a beautifully profane tirade at the court, at the prosecutor, and at the judge itself, prompting a longer sentence with a terrorism enhancement as opposed to just getting some of the treatment that other defendants got. And I wanted to talk about it because this is a tactic that's used by the courts for something that I don't like. People are incentivized to apologize and show remorse for a criminal act. Well, to me, I don't think that remorse has anything to do with the punishment of a criminal act. And it's a weird concept that if your client merely asserts their rights and their innocence, that they are not sufficiently showing a remorse to the satisfaction of a judge. So I don't know if her sort of speaking out, being one of the first convicted people from January 6th to openly defy the court and to say, no, I was exercising my rights. This is tyranny. She's one of the first people to do that. And so that might cause some sort of wave. And I don't know if you saw it, but like Jacob Chansley even posted a big thing on Twitter where he changed his profile picture because he said, oh, people don't know who I am. And I need them to know who I am when I enter social spaces, et cetera, et cetera. I think they're facing some backlash over allegations that they threw Trump under the bus by saying he threw them under the bus, over things like admitting to doing something wrong on January 6th, where many people believe that nothing done was wrong. It was not criminal. It would be protected activity. So those are cases that I was looking at. Those are cases that I was pulling up over the weekend. Also, big update in the cocaine cover-up at the White House. Allegedly a source, a source has revealed, and maybe even a source has confirmed that the Secret Service has allegedly lied about the fingerprint and DNA hit from the outside of the bag, saying that actually there was a return on the fingerprint and DNA, and they are saying that there was not. They said there was not enough of a fingerprint to recover. So now we've got this alleged revelation coming up. There's FOIA requests out to multiple law enforcement agencies to who they believe may actually have the information, who had done the drug testing and the DNA testing of the bag. There's an expedited process in DC for it. So according to some high-level security source who is anonymous, that is the current status there. So that was on the menu to talk about as well. Very interesting that this is going to somehow, like it's got to come out, I guess, or something has to happen. So kind of a weird status on that one. And so I'm kind of following that story. What else did I grab over the weekend? We've got, well, that one was dumb. We talked a little bit about the man whose mother-in-law with the blue and black dress, he attempted to murder his wife. So that was cool. And there was also this Greek priest. This was kind of a funny one, a little weird. There's a Greek priest who's arrested for anointing a tourist's genitals with oil. I just thought it's kind of funny because he like asks for a blessing. He's like, oh yes, let's go in the back room. So they go in the back room and the guy's like, yes, I need you to like bless this thing. I've got something coming up. And he's like, I need you to drop your pants. That's what we're going to do. And he takes the holy oil and rubs it on the guy's balls. And the guy's like, it felt weird, but I thought maybe it was legit. I thought maybe this was the thing to do, which is, I mean, I can't imagine personally. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to go. There's this monastery. We're going to go in and get a blessing from the deacon or the monk or whoever, right? And he's like, take Ben Stone. But like, it's my golf game. My shoulder hurts. Is what I'm trying to work on here. Can you like bless this area? And he's like, we will fix whatever I need. So a weird story is just kind of a funny sort of thing I wanted to talk about. And then this magical thing happens. I get an email from YouTube. I get a bunch of stupid emails from YouTube that aren't important. I get like beta surveys and stuff. Are you a beta? And I'm, yes, please. No, surveys for different like community content creator input on stuff. I get that all the time and I ignore them. But I got a copyright takedown request. And I was like, for what? I'm barely on YouTube. Only the first hour of the show is on YouTube, and I'm usually not pulling up other videos. I try not to. I don't want to trigger like automatic DMCA shit because the stuff that I use is almost entirely fair use or I have permission usually on the other aspect of it. So I don't really fuck around with copyright infringements in general, but I don't want to trigger the automatic systems of YouTube because they're a pain in the ass, right? So I'm like, what the hell did I even do? And I look, and it's a video from 2020. And I was like, now? That's weird. And it's Romeo fucking Lacoste. Now, some of you guys probably don't know or remember this case. It really depends on if you were watching the channel 3 years ago or if you've gone through the back catalog, and there's a lot to go through. But Romeo Lacoste is a tattoo artist, a pretty famous one in Hollywood, who tattooed a bunch of celebrities, a bunch of ethos and stuff like that. And he had this business that was going. And then he ran into this strange little man on the internet named Keemstar. Some of you may have heard of Keemstar. Some of you may not. It all depends on what you watch and where you interact on YouTube and social media. But Keemstar has a very big YouTube channel called Drama Alert, millions of subscribers. Now, in comparison, Romeo Lacoste has something like 1 million Instagram followers or 1 million YouTube subscribers. So there's both very large, socially reaching people. Well, they're not both large, but their social media presence dwarfs their respective heights. But that being said, we've got this thing where Romeo Lacoste interacts with Keemstar in that an underage girl released DMs from Romeo Lacoste to her. I guess maybe allegedly underage, although she is underage. And these are DMs of a very sexual nature. And I believe she does an interview even with Keemstar to tell him the story of how Romeo Lacoste is sending her these sexual messages. And so then Romeo goes on Keemstar's show, admits to a lot of it, and Keemstar says that that's kind of like pedo behavior, bro. Like that's... Now, not everyone agrees with that assessment, but the common sort of use right now of pedo, because I know someone's going to be like, actually, that's hebephilia. Hebephilia is attraction to teenagers between the ages of 13 and 18. I don't care. Okay. You don't have to actually me on hebephilia. And please, once you do it, don't follow up with the argument about how you think it's fine. That's on you. I don't want to talk about that at all. That's not for me to determine if you are a pedophile or a hebephile. Keep it to yourself, please. I don't care. I don't want to know. If you're offending on someone, turn yourself into the meat grinder. Just skip the police department and walk off the cliff into the big grinding wheels that we're installing in the Grand Canyon. That would be fine for me. But don't talk to me about it, and you don't need to defend the terms. Hebephiles do not want or need you to carry the flag of hebephilia into the public sector to, defend their valor. Most of them are just content, hiding from the world, I think. So let's, it's not your job. Not your job. Anyway, so Keemstar says this seems pedophilic or something. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly what Keemstar said, so forgive me if I've got something. And then Romeo Lacoste sues him for it. Even after going on the show and admitting to it and all of that stuff, he then sues Keemstar for defamation because Keemstar said that he had these sexual conversations with an underage girl. And the best part was in the complaint itself. And so here I come along, la-di-fucking-da. I cover YouTube lawsuits. Those are fun to cover. This is before Rittenhouse, mind you. This is 2020. And it's in the early parts of 2020 when this happened. So this is before the Rittenhouse trial had even happened. And so I'm I cover these funny YouTube lawsuits when they pop up because people on YouTube are interested about the creators getting sued and all that stuff. I'm going to look at it. So I pull it up. We play some video clips. We look at the court filings. We talk about it. And suddenly I'm getting copyright claimed because I quote unquote made him look bad. Now, I don't know if you know this, but that's not a copyright claim. A copyright claim is illegally used my creative product that I own, uh, that's a copyright claim. Like, bro, he made me look bad because I said I was a pedo is not copyright. That's not DMCA. It's a different thing. That's called what you sued Keemstar for and lost. So I get this thing and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I had forgotten who Romeo Lacoste even was. But okay, like, great. Now I get to go ahead and write back that this is clearly not a copyright infringement issue. But I had to refresh myself, and I figure we have to refresh the chat, especially because we got so many new people in the past 3 years. We have to tell the chat just who Romeo Lacoste is. I think that's only fair because I don't remember all of the details of the case. Like, the specific details of the case are fuzzy to me. I mean, I only have this high level synopsis. So I looked in my OneDrive. I still have all the documents. That's weird. Like, they're still there. So it's really easy. I don't have to go back to like the state of California, Los Angeles County court system and like put in a petition and pay $1 to look the case number up by his real name and then go in and download like all these documents. Like, it's right on the LA County Courthouse website that anybody on earth can go to and set up an account for free. And you can pay $1 to search by name and look at these documents. And then some of them have costs associated with downloading them and some don't. But I've already paid all that. Like, I've already done the work. But I mean, if someone else wanted to do it, that's the process they would go to, because this is a public case in which he publicly lost and publicly had to settle with Keemstar on the award because he allegedly couldn't afford it. And he publicly gave Keemstar his YouTube play button, which Keemstar made fun of because he lost the lawsuit because his lawyer said that he actually had a sexual conversation with an underage girl. Like, his lawyer said he did the exact same thing that he was accused of in the documents to the court. But I'm going to refresh everybody on that because it's funny to me and I had forgotten about it. And you don't want to forget funny things. And when you remember them, you got to share them. You got to just like broadcast it to the world that that's what happened, right? So that's what we're going to do on Romeo Lacoste in just a little bit. That's the first topic we're going to get to. There's going to be a little bit of, documents pulled up and stuff like that as we get into it. After that, the next weird thing happened to me. Well, not to me. The next weird thing happened. Now, many of you may know that I have a tumultuous relationship with another internet personality called Ethan Ralph. Ethan Ralph is the editor-in-chief of the Ralph Retort blog, I guess. And he's also the host of a show called The Kill Stream. Now, Ralph and I used to be friends. Ralph was on the internet a little bit before me in this category of internet called Internet Blood Sports. And that was a weird show where two internet autisms would get together on a stream and they would scream at each other slurs and calling each other retards until the audience liked one more than the other. And there was ostensibly a topic of debate between them, but that's really what it was. It was really popular. People liked it. And there's this whole arc that we'll kind of touch on as a refresher of how Internet Blood Sports kind of fizzled out and really isn't around in the same way anymore. But when it pops up and there's an actual like blood and tooth and nail fight between content creators, people are magnetically drawn to it. And it'll get like IBS is back, right? But like actual IBS, you don't want it to stay around for too long because it gets very, very toxic for everybody in the area. So Ralph, that's kind of part of where I was initially commentating on some legal issues when I started my channel. Ralph had a bigger show, very graciously allowed me to come on the show and talk about stuff and to be called a Jew a lot and asked how many banks I own and stuff like that. Specifically, like that I have to be a Jew. So as the honorary Jew of the Kill Stream, because I don't know if they let other than Josh Moon, but so there's not a lot I'm not sure if Jews are even real. Anyway, so as the honorary Jew, I would go on and commentate. And then later, there was a spat between Ralph and I. And we don't need to get into too many specifics, but basically, there was a bad moment on one of his streams. I commented on it and chuckled as a joke. I thought it was kind of funny, like one of my friends farting and having the camera pick it up. Thought it was kind of just funny. And so, like, I talked about it, and then that kind of set off this cascade of grievances that Ralph had against me, but like was just kind of letting it go. But then that ended up being too far. Now, if that sounds weird and crazy, it's because the internet is a weird and crazy place, but that's how it happened. And then a bunch of stuff compounded after that. It's not like that was the only thing, but it devolved into this back and forth bickering match. And Ralph, in full fairness and deference to him, has said some really horrid things about me and my family. And so I just kind of like backed off contact from it. Like I tried not to really engage, and I didn't really cover a lot of Ralph drama in the meanwhile, which you need like a tome of grudges that dwarves have to cover all of the Ralph drama. There's a shitload of it. He's a very volatile individual that pushes buttons on people. But there's some interim stuff that happened, and I tried to kind of stay out of it. I just personally am not a huge fan of like having things off of the internet brought into the internet, especially when it's not true and it's really, really hurtful to people. Like, people can say shit about me all they want, and that's fine. Like, but other people don't deserve to be dragged into shit because of my drama. So that's just my personal opinion. But you can't control what people say, so I just backed off. No big deal. Ralph's portion of the internet and mine had kind of diverged already anyway. Not a lot of crossover going on. However, over the weekend, someone messages me that Ralph is allegedly about to be kicked off of Cozy. Cozy is the TV platform, the internet video platform owned by Nick Fuentes, allegedly. I think he owns it or runs it or something. I don't know the whole details. Fuentes' streaming platform, which is really the main place that Ralph had been streaming up until this weekend. And then there was some leaked emails or something where he was allegedly going to be removed, even though the America First rally was happening over the weekend as well. And I think Ralph was actually in the States for it. But Ralph got served a couple lawsuits, which were mentioned on my Friday show by Dick Masterson, one of them being a defamation lawsuit. He got served when he landed in the U.S. because someone had leaked that he was, his flight itinerary or something. I don't know the full drama of how that happened, but basically Ralph lands and a guy on video serves him papers, right? So he's got these lawsuits happening, and then this America First thing where they're going to kick him off of Cozy, maybe kick him out of America First. And also, I guess that's what it was, but they're basically severing all ties with Ralph, and that it had been kind of building for a long time. And then Ralph decided, like a poker player in the Old West, with a machine gun under the table, to stand up and scream like Bruce Willis, yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers, and brrrrap the entire like America First thing. And he like doxes the event, which you could understand why America First might not want to have their event made public. They have some controversial views. They have some controversial views on certain things, and they have a reputation. Now, I'm not saying there's validity to internet reputations or anything like that, but I'm saying that because of a reputation you may have online, whether it's justified or not, some people might mess with you, and specifically highly political, extreme right-wing reputations. When you're a political movement, like as a organizational goal, there are other political movements that exist, like Antifa, for example, or BLM, who might have strong disagreements. And so doxing the event is now like a crazy thing because people might show up and disrupt it, or whoever. I don't know. I had heard a bunch of stuff was gonna happen at the event, but I don't know that anything actually did. And hopefully no one was actually injured or, attacked or anything like that. I don't know. For reference, I think of America first so rarely that I can't actually hold any malicious viewpoint of them, because to me, they don't exist except when the news arises. So, like, I don't care, I don't hate them, and I don't weigh their political philosophies because I don't listen to them. Not personal, just not on my radar, right? So I hope nothing happened to any of them. I don't wish ill on people like that. So that being said, after that, there were some other releases of potentially information that didn't want to come out because, well, whatever. And then Ralph's Cozy channel was deleted, and then he broadcast the kill stream on Rumble, I think, and had a very big show. So it's this wild fucking weekend that goes on. And I'm like, well, I mean, I guess I have to talk about this stuff on Monday because this is big thing. Like, this is wild shit happening with Romeo Lacoste. This thing is very important. It's always important to discuss serious accusations that are admitted to, especially of a sexual nature with minors, when you remember them. I want to make sure to bring that up about Romeo Lacoste as often as possible, and remind everybody that's the public filings that his lawyer put forward. So we got to talk about that. It directly impacts his channel. I'll do my how to write a copyright, response, as I tend to do when I get these claims. And then we've got to talk about the Ralph thing because, again, the deep ties of this. And also, I've mentioned recently a couple times that though Ralph and I have had our tumultuous past, I know that he was going through some personal issues. And I'm not going to like dump on the guy. Family issues to me become things that are more important than petty drama on the internet. And so a while back, I sent Ralph a message and I said, hey, man, you said a lot of fucked up shit that I really am not happy about people that I care about. But despite all that, I hope you're okay. I hope you get the help you need, whatever that is. I don't know your full situation, but I really hope that whatever your family situation is, that it works out and everybody's safe. Family is first. So I had done that a while back, but it'd been behind the scenes and stuff. And I mentioned that I buried the hatchet. I don't, I forgive him, right? I'm more concerned that he lives through the year and that, what happens with everybody involved in his drama. I don't care about any sides on it. I hope that everything resolves the best, mostly for the kids. And then, that everybody ends up healthy out of it. So and people can have whatever opinion they want about him and all of that. I don't care about having opinions there. To me, safe kids, healthy people, more important than words. Okay. So with that said, though, I wasn't like looking forward to the idea of like bringing Ralph on the show or doing any of this. I mean, you can forgive someone a lot, but you don't necessarily want to bring that back into space. Now, Ralph has stated that he and Dick Masterson and I may be doing a show together as early as Saturday of this week. I want to clear one thing up. I have not actually agreed to do any shows anywhere with anybody in that event, in that sort of sphere or whatever. Ralph has asked about potentially doing a show. I have not decided what to do yet. On one hand, like I said, I've been staying away from all of this drama in general. Ralph is very volatile at the moment. I'm not looking to piss anybody off or grease anybody off. I just don't care. On the other hand, it's really funny. It's a really funny explosion in a strange sector of the internet, which is always tempting. And, Ralph is a lightning rod. So it'll be a good show. Like, it would be a good show. But I haven't decided if I'm going to do it or not because I've kind of been staying away from all that shit. All right. And there's a bunch of other things that go on, and you never know what's serious and what's Fed posting and all of that. So I'm weighing very carefully what I want to do, how involved I want to be, or do I want to laugh from the sidelines with everybody else, which is what I usually do. That being said, I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. And so if you see that there is definitely a show or anything that involves me, nothing involves me unless it comes from me. I'll be the one to say it. So that is my current position on this thing. It's a very strange situation. I'm not sure I want to delve into it. But we're going to go through all of this as the main thing. Now, depending on how long this takes, I do have other topics that I've mentioned. I know I'm doing a long intro, but I always do a long intro. You got to preview the show. It's the intro paragraph. I'm sorry. I took speech writing and rhetoric, the essay in college, so I have to use the intro, ABC, conclusion format. That's the only way to convey a message in the entire Western Hemisphere. You know that. That being said, one other thing. Joe and I normally do Friday shows, although it doesn't seem like it. The last 2 Fridays I wasn't available. He asked me, Monday shows. Last 2 Mondays I wasn't available. And then this Monday he asked if I was available tonight, and I had forgotten. And so I was hanging out with Lady Rackets prior to the show. And I was like, no, tonight's not going to work. I'm going to be hanging out with the lady. So sorry. And so we're looking at another day this week, either tomorrow or Wednesday are a good target. So that is coming up. We're still going to do that show, just not tonight. There is another person that I'm going to be doing a show with ASAP, 2 shows, one on my channel, one on his podcast. And that is, who is it? This guy named Zeke Arkham, who is either a cop or a former cop. And someone suggested that he and I should talk because he talks about, talking to people openly, even if they have conflicting ideas. I don't know if we have conflicting ideas, but I was like, hell yeah, let's do a show. So Zeke Arkham, if you know him, we'll be doing a show together on both his channel and my channel very soon. So that's cool. Other than that, this week, I'm not sure what else is happening. Monday, Taylor Shabusiness trial starts Monday morning. Taylor Shabusiness, if you don't remember, is the woman who's having sex with a man, sort of, while on meth and maybe other things, and decided it would be a good idea to chop his head off and then play with his former manhood after the decapitation. And then she chopped up the rest of him and put him in a bucket, but left some of him behind and put some of them in a crock pot box with her laundry, as one does. You put the legs that you cut off of your former lover, you put that in the crock pot box that you're carrying your laundry in. And then she got found by the police with the legs still in the car. And they're like, what's this? Can't to explain. So her trial is July 24th, unless it gets stayed. She has another competency evaluation going on, and the judge may stay the proceedings. But if it is July 24th, it's expected to be a 1-week trial. So it would be all of next week, and I would be able to cover almost all of it. There's a period in there where I might have to miss part of it, and I think Legal Vices will be covering it as well. But people have been asking me to cover a trial. I've been really looking for one that I can do the trial of. It won't be 8 weeks long. And this one looks like it's on the menu, and I have most of the schedule kind of cleared out for it. So hopefully that'll be happening on Monday of next week. But Monday night, I'm not going to be able to stream because I'll be picking up my boy who, is on a trip right now, my oldest son. So Monday night of next week, I will not be streaming. So that's kind of the update of everything so far. Thank you for always bearing with these way fucking overly long intros. They help me kind of, especially on Mondays, lay out the week and what's going on. And I really had to kind of preview these fucking strange topics because they're old. We're resurrecting the dead, and it's not even me. I'm not like, oh God, I need content. I better have, no, it's like Romeo did this. So fucking strange. So we're going to get into that in just a moment. We'll start up on these topics. First, we have a chat from Poozerker, who says, I drank Fireball last night with my future wife. I broke down and cried, talking about how I wasn't molested as a kid. I was never the pretty boy on the playground. Please tell Megan I'm not wrong. Godspeed, buddy. No, of course. Like that, when you're ugly, they don't want to touch you. And that's how it goes. If you're drinking Fireball whiskey, I know you have deep trauma, so you can work past that. Let's see. D Watt says, tune into Legal Vices for the Shabusiness. No, you watch it here is what I'm saying. Here. But when I'm gone, watch it on Vices, of course. And depending, we may do some crossover stuff during the trial. I don't know. I haven't planned it out, but I am planning on covering that trial. One other thing to do today, I haven't done this in a long time, is a whiskey review. I've not done a whiskey review in a really, really long time. So we're going to do a whiskey review today. And this is how we're going to start the show, because the whiskey review kind of goes through the whole thing. If you haven't seen one of these, because I haven't done them in forever, I apologize. We'll explain it. But I got this British whiskey. And I was going to review it on the 4th of July when I got it, but I was like, you can't review British whiskey on the 4th of July. You have to throw it at a homeless person. So I did that and I bought another bottle. This is called Finlay Bay. I don't speak British. It's a Yorkshire single malt whiskey. It's just a 5-year, cast in 2017, bottled in 2022. It's 60% alcohol. And we're going to take a look at it and see how this goes. Is this still the intro? My God, dude, the whole show is the intro. That was the joke. I don't actually have a format to follow. I just ramble through whatever I'm going to say. One of only 286 bottles from a Pedro Jimenez Sherry Hogshead cask, number 685, specially selected from our warehouse, bottled at cask strength. So apparently there's only 286 bottles of this ever made. Now, some people might be like, oh, that's a very exclusive whiskey. That's really good. Let me educate you a little bit on how distilling the business works. So they put these bottles in all these casks, or they put all this, the mash and stuff in these casks to age. To get the liquid out of the mash. It doesn't matter. They put the liquid in the barrels to age, and then the brewmaster goes periodically and checks each of the casks as they're aging. And he takes a little sip and he tastes them. And if they taste right at certain ages, they go to different areas. Now, there's a certain thing that they're aiming for, their premium or premier product. And that gets, aged a very long time, maybe 20, 30 years, stuff like that. And then they also have a mainline product. I'm oversimplifying this, but you have Gentleman Jack Daniels and you have Jack Daniels. And the stuff that tastes good enough for Gentleman Jack goes onto that rack. The rest of it kind of goes to Jack Daniels because it's not great. And that's why they sell it for $20 a piece, right? It's garbage. But sometimes there's a bottle that ages out of the normal batch, but it tastes aberrant to the regular stuff. And then a barrel. So then they have this extra barrel of whiskey that doesn't taste like what they want. And so they'll call it a special reserve or a special edition, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's good. That just means there was one cask of whiskey that tasted different than everything else. So that's nice. Very good. They have this potentially terrible cask. So never be fooled by the idea that this is a select batch of only 200 bottles. Oh, okay. It might be great. It might be garbage, but it's 60% liquor. So the best part of it is by the 4th glass, you don't give a shit how it tasted. So there we go. Oh, real quick, I'll read the description. From field to bottle, Finlay Bay single malt whiskey is proudly made of Yorkshire. It isn't just made in Yorkshire, it's part of Yorkshire. It's our homegrown barley and chalk filtered water from beneath our farm It's our bespoke stills and unique pot and column distillation. And it's our forward thinking with a healthy respect for tradition. Our home is in everything we do and in every bottle of Philae Bay. Notice no tasting notes, nothing about what the experience of the whiskey will be. Things are not looking great for this experience, but we're going to try it with an open mind. So here we go. Here we go. So here it is. It's dark. I don't know if it's artificially colored like me or if it's naturally colored like Shaq. I'm not sure which one it is, but it is dark. So here's how I do this. My first is the 4-step tasting of the whiskey. Very small sip, smell it, taste it, let it sit around, drink it, breathe out, taste all the 4 things. We'll do that. And then the next one will be just kind of sipping it. And then once I finish this, I'll do a shot the next time. So here we go. Smells like high octane alcohol. A little bit of nail polish. But there's something nice in there. I think it's some wood. Ooh. Okay. Whoa. On the tongue is raw fire. Just fucking burning and numbing. The taste is basically non-existent at this point. Whew. Oh my God. If I blew on Hunter Biden, he would probably sober up, but wow. It is just like, it is pure fire. Fire, fire, fire. My tongue is numb, tingling. The back of my throat feels like I had a date with Adam 22's bull. Good God. Oh, that's harsh. I drink a lot of 60% whiskeys, and they're not like this. Whew. Okay. We're going to try this again. Sometimes the second sip is better because your system has been shocked by the first one. Here we go. It's very sweet. That helped. It is still kind of burny. It's a young whiskey, though. It's young enough to be preferred by Joe Biden. Is this the whiskey of the Biden family? And those young whiskeys get really harsh. Yeah. The taste is not terrible, but it's really muted by the overwhelming amount of alcohol burn in it. Okay. There we go. Whew. Okay. Well, I'm withholding judgment. That's a high liquor whiskey. God. It's my strong hand. We'll see. Sometimes you need to get into it a little. All right. Okay. Let's pull up the Romeo Lacoste shit and get this thing started. Trying to figure out how best to do this. Because I can pull up the complaint, and maybe that is just the place to start. Maybe we just start with the complaint, which is, where are we? Keemstar. All right, let's pull up. I still have this redacted, so there's no addresses or anything in here. Oh, that's an important point of this. Because a second thing happened in this case after I got the DMCA request. And I'll show you. I'll show you both of these things. So here's the copyright takedown request. Let's start with the actual copyright takedown request. I think that's important here. And let me make sure. Okay. So this is really long. We're not going to do all of it. But this is a long chain of emails. It's been going for how long? When did this email start? I don't know. I don't know when this back and forth started, but it contains all the forwarded information to me without dates. So that's nice. Let's do this. Here we go. Share. That bottle is for the streets. Oh my God. I saw this fucking great meme on someone sent it to me, and it was a teacher. I think it was on women posting their L's. It was this teacher, and she said her 8th grade, I think it was her 8th grade classes or 8-year-old students. I can't remember which one. Doesn't matter. She was talking to them about dating, and they asked how many boyfriends she has had. And she's like, well, let's go through it. And she says when she got to the 4th boyfriend, one of the boys from the class, I'm pretty sure they were 8-year-olds, goes, she belonged to the streets. Oh my God. That is fucking brilliant. Oh, so she's crying about it, of course, because God, it's great. Okay, so here is the first response that YouTube gave Romeo that he replies to. We're going to scroll up through this to the current day because I haven't been fully I haven't fully read this email. I skimmed the first part because it's the only part that matters. Let's read through it real quick. Hi, Romeo Lacoste. Thank you for your response. We've reviewed it and provided updates below. Request declined. So they initially declined his copyright request. We remain concerned that your copyright notification is not valid for some or all of the videos identified in your notification. It's not. As a result, the content will remain live on YouTube. If you have concerns relating to harassment, blah, 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 please visit this. So here's the video in question, which is what he submitted. And then he submitted it in regards to artwork, a photo. And in the title of the artwork, here's what he wrote. He slanders me by taking clips from the videos and posting my unauthorized photo throughout the video. He insults me by introducing me to the public as a bad person. Please remove the video. Content found in entire video. So here's the video. Keemstar sued. This is a 13-minute video. Now, here we go. So there's intro, the old intro. Here's a summary. Here's Keemstar. This is a pre-recorded. This is not a live video. This is a pre-recorded video that I did. Now, I don't see his photo anywhere yet. I see his document, right? His lawsuit. We're going to look at this in just a minute. Statement of facts. Okay. I haven't. Oh, there's an ad, I guess. I haven't seen a photo yet. Have you guys seen a photo of Romeo Lacoste yet? I have not. But I'm allegedly bringing up his photo throughout the video. Right? So I don't see his photo in here. I'm looking for it. I keep seeing these where. Now, it would have been funny if every time it said pedophile, I'd brought up his photo or something, but I don't think I was even funny. So I don't see it. Now it's allegedly throughout the whole video. So, but that's what he sent in. So then, he sends in this thing. Okay, Romeo Lacoste backup. If you still believe your copyright is infringed by YouTube video identified below, please explain in detail why. Dear YouTube team. Thank you for your attention and feedback. I still firmly believe that these videos, which there's only one listed, infringe upon my copyright, and I would like to provide a detailed explanation as to why. Now, he's got to be careful. Romeo has this problem where he doesn't know if he's talking to if the person he's talking to at YouTube is of the age of majority. This might be a minor, which might be why he's talking so much. I don't know if that's the case, though. I think YouTube doesn't tend to hire people under the age of 18. But I don't know if, I don't know. So I'm very concerned about that. But let's get back to this. It's very important. The content featured in these videos consists of my photos and videos being used without my authorization. Now, that's weird because in that video, there was no photos and there were no videos. There was just my dumbass talking in my old office setup with his document pulled up. These videos defame and slander me, and they include secretly recorded images of me. Now, I don't know how on earth I would get hold of a secretly recorded image of Romeo. I know that any images that I grab of people are either from Google Photos or Instagram or Twitter. Like, I grab them from their public images that they put out. Like, I want to represent people by that. So I'm not sure how I would get a secretly recorded photo or whatever, but okay. The situation severely impacts my personal reputation and violates my individual rights. Well, Romeo, let me tell you, my friend, your personal reputation was already in the gutter when I started talking about it. It was really bad, dude. Like, it was bad, not because of me, but because you went on Keemstar's show and admitted to all of the things. Like, that's what you did. And I just talked about it when you sued him and then you lost because you admitted to it. So, problem there. But that, okay, just clarifying. Furthermore, the continued publication of these videos negatively affects the market for my original work and creates unfair competition. Therefore, I request the immediate removal of these videos. Wait, what? But you didn't make, like, your lawsuit, you didn't do a video of that. So I don't know how I did what he says. It's clearly not true. Should I show you guys Romeo Lacoste? I'm so like, I don't. All right. So here is this Romeo Lacoste guy. I just want to accurately grab a picture of him for you guys to understand who we're dealing with here. This is very important. So it's a very famous guy in some circles. So here he is. This is Romeo Lacoste right here. This is him. This is his picture that is from like a biography website or something. So there you go. Look, I mean, you can make whatever determinations you want about him. That's him. He is a famous celebrity tattoo artist. Like, he famous for tattooing minor celebrities, I guess. So that's who he is. So that's funny, I guess. There's a video by this chick called "What Did Romeo Lacoste Do?" The Fall of the Tattoo God, Rise and Fall of Romeo Lacoste, the Child Predator, that Rise and Fall of Romeo Lacoste from Tattoo Artist to Predator. These are just the names of videos and stuff about him that are on Google when you look at him. So okay. So, just to get an idea of who he is, we gotta keep our eyes on the prize here. What do we got? All right, so back to this. How much of your copyright work is used? So in regards to the mentioned copyright infringement, my entire body of work has been used in these videos. I want to repeat, I have somehow used his entire body of work, all of it, everything he has ever done has been used in that 13-minute video. Just all of them. Just only all of it. That's the claim. So that was okay. How is let's see. Without my permission and in violation of my copyright, these videos contain my photos and videos in their entirety. This unauthorized and unjust publication encompasses all of my original content. Remember that YouTube's like, we're not really sure that the one video you listed is a valid copyright claim. All of it, everything Wow. How is the market for your original work affected by this use? The use of my work in these videos has a detrimental impact on the market for my original content. These videos include the unauthorized use of my photos and videos along with defamatory and derogatory statements about me. As a result, my personal and professional reputation is damaged and the value of my work is diminished. The continued publication of these videos negatively affects my business and career, preventing my original work from receiving the recognition it deserves. That's not a copyright claim, bro. You are making a different claim that I defamed you and that was intentional, or like either intentional or negligent interference with your business prospects, something you sued Keemstar for and also lost on dramatically. I don't know if you remember losing on this, but you lost bad, very, very bad. In fact, I have the document of the judgment where you lost. So that's one of the problems. But this is a separate issue. This is a false use of the DMCA copyright system. Entirely inappropriate and possibly illegal because it seems to willfully misunderstand the purpose of copyright. And he also makes false statements in it very clearly, stating that I used all of his videos that have ever been made. I don't know if I used any of his videos. I think I only used Keemstar's. So, does this use significantly transform your original work, or does it serve the same purpose? Okay, this use does not significantly transform my original work. Instead, it serves the same purpose. So his original work apparently serves to diminish the value of his original work and defame him. That's what he must be claiming here, because it serves the same purpose. If the purpose is for me to damage his reputation and defame him, I guess his original work would be for that purpose as well, allegedly. The content in these videos featuring the unauthorized use of my photos and videos aims to depict me in a negative light and includes defamatory statements, which is, again, not at all the purpose of his own videos. I would assume the only person who does that is me. To myself, this deviation from the intended purpose of my original work seeks to harm my reputation and create unfair competition. Wait. Does it significantly transform your original work? This deviation from the intended purpose, now it serves the same purpose. Which fucking one is it? Homie? What the fuck? Does this use fall into an exception to copyright protection? No, use does not fall into an exception to copyright protection. The content in these videos comprises my videos and my photos and videos being used without my permission unequivocally constitutes copyright infringement, and the removal of these videos is warranted according to copyright laws. Which ones? Additionally, I would like to address the consequences of violating YouTube's copyright policies and human rights. The platform has robust community guidelines and mechanisms in place for copyright protection. Addressing copyright infringement is an essential step in safeguarding the rights of creators and content producers. Oh, Romeo, why cook thou art Romeo? YouTube's community guidelines aim to protect users' rights and promote fair use. Therefore, requesting the cessation of the publication of these videos aligns with YouTube's own policies and constitutes a significant step in combating copyright infringement. Lastly, I would like to emphasize the fact that I have over 800,000 followers underscores the potential reach of these videos and the prevalence of copyright infringements. I have over 800,000 followers. Wasn't it 1.2 million before? This further highlights the importance of removing these videos and enforcing copyright rules. I hope these responses effectively convey to the YouTube team the gravity of copyright infringements and the necessity of removing these videos. Whoa. Okay, here we go. Oh, this has happened. Oh no, come on, guys. You know, when I pulled up his picture, it was supposed to be a secret. Fucking people, you have to screenshot everything. Everything has to be screenshot. It was supposed to be a secret. Cannot believe you guys. Here we go. Thank you for your removal request. We reviewed your request and need more information. Please read the entire email. Add video details action needed. We're concerned your copyright notification might not be valid for the videos listed below. Yeah, please keep in mind, many countries it's legal to use copyrighted works in specific ways without the authorization, particularly for transformative purposes such as news reporting, parody, commentary, or review. Some countries protect such uses under doctrines of fair use or fair dealing, while others allow for specific exceptions. If you still believe, blah, 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 blah. So this one is, he slanders me by taking clips from the videos and posting my unauthorized photo throughout the video. Is this the same one? I'm just checking the link. Hold on. I have to check if that's the same one or not. Oh, wait, it was down. It was on a different fucking window. Okay, never mind. I don't know if that's the same one. That one might have got. I don't think any of them have gotten taken down from me. But this link didn't work. Let's see. Here we go. Well, this is like a long strain here. So my copyright work is YouTube Shorts, YouTube videos that I have deleted now or which are hidden but not previously private and personal photos, artwork, photos, and videos from my YouTube channel. I usually produced and shared in 2021 and 2022. I am the creator of these videos that I produced. Let me just remind you that I have not talked about Romeo Lacoste since 2020. So how can I have taken Romeo's photos and videos that were made a year later and put them in the video? Number 5 is blank. Okay. I have more than 100,000 YouTube subscribers and fans, but I request you to remove such videos that violate my copyright and defame. Please see the YouTube team. Videos are attacking me and misleading the public. In addition, my followers are getting cold. So that this does not happen, I request you remove it with my respects. What the fuck? So he's just like, I don't know who he's even talking to here, because this didn't come to me. So I have more than so then help me. Hello, if they do not remove it within 7 days, you will remove it. But until that time expires, that is after 3 days, can you write that my request has been approved? Well, it's been 5 days and no reply from you. I hope the video will be removed after 2 days. Tomorrow is the last day. Expect you to send a message that the videos have been removed. After 7 days, I selected the option to remove the video. It's been 7 days now, and I request you remove the videos. I gave you all the necessary info. Look, I'm telling you again, there's my photo or videos or shorts that I have hidden in the title and content of the videos. Contacted them, but they did not remove them. My supplier requests you to remove. He's never contacted me. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So here's this stuff. Same types of things. Here, God, this is so fucking weird. Here's this one. Just more of the same shit. I shared all the necessary information with you. More detailed description. This like went way back and forth on this. So here we go. Hello, we received the copyright infringement notification below regarding your videos. We believe your content is protected by fair use, fair dealing, or a similar exception to copyright protection. I've never actually seen this before. I've never seen YouTube do this. YouTube usually does not make an actual determination on fair use. They make a determination if the form was properly filled out. And I think as we could see it was not. So here we go. We are writing to let you know we do not plan to remove your videos at this time. You have control over the availability of videos on your channel, including the ability to delete them if you choose, which of course I'm not going to do that. So here's the video. It's that same one. Please be advised it's possible the copyright owner will approach you directly to request removal or take other action. Oh, yeah. I mean, please do. Romeo, if you want to talk about removing the videos, let's just do an interview, baby. Let's figure this out. Come on and describe like what happened. You have not had a proper chance to defend yourself in court or anything. So I guess I guess, that would be the thing. I don't know. But I got that one. That's not the end of the story, though. Something else happened that I didn't talk about yet. And we'll do it right now. This is short. And then we'll tell the main story again. So that people know what's going on. So here is this. So he lost the copyright thing, right? That's pretty clear. Now this is a different process. This is a YouTube privacy process. And if you have not seen it, this is the YouTube privacy process is different and operates under different rules than copyright. Even if you're not violative of copyright, you may be infringing on someone's privacy by sharing something that is actually supposed to be private. Now, lawsuit doesn't tend to qualify. It's not sealed. It's public record. All of the documents were obtained from the public record, and they can all be bought still to this day from the Los Angeles County Courthouse website. So YouTube support team says, hi, Ricada Law. This is notify you that we have received a privacy complaint from an individual regarding your content. This is the exact same link. The information reported as violating privacy is at 0 minutes and 0 seconds through 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Please note the violation may also occur in the title, video description, channel, image, or background. Now, Romeo's picture isn't even used in the thing because I didn't want people to throw holy water on their computers and phones if they saw it. So we would like to give you an opportunity to remove or edit the private information that might be present within the content reported. This notification informs you that another user has raised a privacy concern about your content. However, it will not automatically result in your videos being restricted. No associated penalty is applied to your channel at this time. We'd like to give you an opportunity to remove or edit the private information that might be present within the content reported. After 48 hours of this notice, we'll review the complaint for violations of our privacy guidelines and consider restricting the content. Now, this should not happen. Obviously, there is nothing private. In fact, if we go back to the complaint, which is the subject of the actual video itself, let me find the tab here. Hold on. Oh, God, the picture keeps coming up. Oh, yeah, it's this window here. Now, I want to point out that in the complaint, this is what we went through on the other thing. I went ahead and I took out the personal residence of both Romeo Lacoste and Keemstar. The only address that is listed is his public place of business, which is on Google and everywhere else. This is his shop, the California Dream Tattoo at 13131 Sherman Way, number 207, North Hollywood, California. Again, that's a public address of a public business. Now, as always, do not talk to this person. Do not go there. You don't have to call, nothing at all. This is purely for informational purposes. This is all public. These black boxes were added by me. People who know me know that I like to put black paint on things because I think it's funny. So the black boxes were added by me to respect the actual residential privacy of these people. So I just wanted to point that out, that there's no private information in here. But we're going to go through real quick and do what we, sometimes do, refresh on the lawsuit. This is a very short complaint that was written, and we need to go ahead and just remind people what actually happened. Because I don't think it's fair to just be like, oh, well, this is all false. I mean, that Romeo's just bullshitting and then have me have actually violated his privacy or misrepresented him. So I want to be very clear that the representation of Romeo Lacoste is actually, accurate to the public records, and to do so with the most deference possible. This is the document filed by Romeo Lacoste. Romeo himself, through his lawyer, told the story this way. This doesn't involve Keemstar's response, and it doesn't involve my editorialization. This is just what Romeo and his attorney wrote down. So here we go. Court has jurisdiction. So he sued him in, this is in federal court. Federal court, because Keemstar's in a different state. I forgot about that. So I said the the Los Angeles County Courthouse. It's not there. You actually would find this on the federal lawsuit search. That's where you'd find it. Pacer.gov with a Pacer account is where you would get this. My bad. My mistake. I stupidly thought this was just in California because it was decided under California law. So venue is pursuant to 28 U.S.C. This is diversity jurisdiction happening in this particular place, but involving people from different states. So plaintiff Nico Romeo Lacoste is a citizen of California. His place of business, as stated, the California Dream Tattoo. And defendant Daniel Keemstar. Keem is a citizen of New York and resides somewhere. I think Keem has since moved, but I don't know. Defendant's business, Drama Alert, upon information believed is primarily located at defendant's personal residence. Statement of facts. Drama Alert is a channel owned by defendant that is projected across multiple social media outlets, including but not limited to YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Oh my God, do people subscribe to Keemstar on Snapchat? Is that what that's for? I don't know if I'd follow Keemstar on Snapchat, but okay. Defendant holds out Drama Alert as a platform to deliver what defendant proffers as news on the social interactions and online entertainment. Defendant conducts interviews, publicizes videos, and provides his opinions on the stories that he covers. Okay, fine. Defendant uses these stories to push his own agenda and to sway his followers to sharing his opinions. Very, very nefarious of Keemstar to sway his viewers into sharing his opinions. That's okay. Defendant has accused plaintiff of pedophilia in several videos across the aforementioned social media outlets, included in these videos are videos published to YouTube on March 16, 2019, March 19, 2019, and February 10th, 2020. On February 10th, 2020, defendant publicized a video recording of a conversation. Plaintiff was engaging in conversations of a sexual nature and an interview with the recording's creator. Okay, we have to break this down because that sentence was written by like a 500-year-old man who has been disbarred, I think, 4 times. Maybe it was only 3, though. I don't want to misrepresent it, but his lawyer's a whole trip. So he publicized a video recording of a conversation that Romeo Lacoste was engaging in conversations of a sexual nature. Okay, so he put up a video of the conversation that Romeo was having with someone else of a sexual nature to kind of translate that. And an interview with the recording's creator. So he published the video of the conversation, like a scrolling video of it, right? And then he interviewed the person Romeo was talking to, just to keep people on the same page here. 13, this recording was made by the individual with which plaintiff was engaging in the sexually charged conversation. So he is engaging in the conversation. It is sexually charged. That's important. And it is with this person. The next line, this individual was a minor, hereafter known as Person A. To summarize the last couple points, Keemstar made a video publicized a video of a conversation Romeo Lacoste had with a minor that was sexually charged, according to Romeo Lacoste's filing. That's what he says happened. I didn't make that up. I didn't deduce that fact. I did not put together the clues on like a string board with maps and like plane flight agendas. Romeo said that. He said it when he filed it in federal court for the entire world to see. That's what happened. So, and if you want to know why he lost the case, points 12, 13, and 14 are exactly why he lost the case. The thing he sued Keemstar for was calling him pedophilic over this conversation, and then he just said that. So, 15, person A falsely told plaintiff that she was of majority status. So, he says the girl told him she was at least 18. Maybe she did. I don't know. Not my judgment here. Plaintiff had no prior knowledge of the recording, nor had he ever given consent for its creation. Well, that's too fucking bad. On the date and time this recording was created, person A was located in Florida, where she is believed to have been and still be a resident of the state. See, this is a bad admission as well, because it's, now I don't think this manifested, but at the time, depending on what was in the conversation, you have this other problem where with Romeo being in California and her being in Florida at the time of recordings, it could be, depending on what was said, and I don't know what was said specifically, it could be seen as a solicitation to entice a minor across state lines and could be a federal crime to do that. So you really need to be very, very careful about who you're talking to and what you say. If you're having a sexually charged conversation with someone, you really need to know that the person is of age. Like, you should have knowledge that the person's of age. Be very, very careful of that. But yeah, so next, person A transmitted this video recording electronically from her location in Florida to defendant in New York. This is unimportant to the lawsuit. Defendant used this video in his efforts to destroy defendant's business and reputation. Now, he means plaintiffs, right? Like, that's just a typo where his lawyer fucked up his form on the autofill. Because lawyer tools have like pre-written stuff, and you can do drop-down selections for plaintiff and defendant and stuff like that. Defendant has stated multiple times that plaintiff, Romeo, is finished, Romeo's career is finished, and Romeo belongs in a cage. Some people are into that, though, Keem. I mean, how do you judge? Defendant has a demonstrable history for making accusations, notably other accusations of pedophilia, which he is unable to substantiate, yet recklessly and maliciously continues to make such accusations. Interestingly, though, of course, Keemstar was able to substantiate this one, and you helped him with your own filing. Again, Wolfgang Deo says, yo, Nick, it is indeed true people are exhausting. Whoever said family gotta love them is an asshole and never met a Navy man. Wish I could go on deployment. I can understand the black man's plight. I'm getting cigarettes, German shepherds. Okay. The accusations made against plaintiff have caused substantial damage to his business. Business is service-based industry, and the damage caused to his business is from an aggregate loss of massive individual clients. Defendant was acutely aware of the nature of the business and the potential impact of his statements. Plaintiff and his business lost contract opportunities as a direct result of the controversy the defendant created to surround plaintiff. Plaintiff lost business. Plaintiff's loss of business directly correlates to the origin of the videos the defendant created. So there we go. Then the rest of it is just sort of this boilerplate of a defamation case. Plaintiff alleges and believes he did this with malice, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. To harm financial health, harm business relationships, etc. So that's that. That was filed by Raul J. Severo. So we're not going to go through any more of the complaint. The critical aspect of this is what I showed in the other video. All I did was say that Keemstar has accused this guy of pedophilia. He has sued Keemstar for accusing him of pedophilia. Keemstar based his accusation of pedophilia on the fact that he was having a sexually charged conversation with a minor. And then he wrote in his document that Keemstar based his accusation on the fact that he was having a sexually charged conversation with a minor. So what happened to Romeo Lacoste is I reported his exact words filed in federal court about what he did. And now he's mad about it. So again, we won't go through the rest of the documents. It's a whole saga. You can watch. I did live streams on it. I did other videos on it as well. And you can go through the stages of the lawsuit by looking up like Keemstar and Romeo Lacoste on my channel. You can certainly do that if you want to go back and revisit it, but it's an old topic. Long story short, he lost the lawsuit. He lost his defamation lawsuit. He was anti-SLAPP motion in California. Well, in the federal courts applying California's anti-SLAPP law, because that's where Romeo chose, to bring the suit was under California defamation law. And in the Ninth Circuit, they still utilize California's anti-SLAPP. In the Fifth Circuit, they would not utilize like Texas, but in California, they do. So he got anti-SLAPP. He had to pay all of Keemstar's fees. They settled for some amount of money, I think. I have no idea. The settlements are typically private, but they settled, and Romeo was forced to give Keemstar his play button as part of the settlement. So hilarious to me. I think it was very funny and fitting result. Like you sued someone for defamation, but they didn't defame you. They just said what you did. And then you confirmed what they said. So people can make their own mind up about Romeo Lacoste. I just wanted to remind people that Romeo Lacoste himself told the entire world that he was having sexually charged conversations with minors. Now, I don't really approve of that behavior myself, but other people can make up their own. I wouldn't want to sway anyone's opinions on that one. It's kind of a touchy subject for some people. So I don't want to sway opinions on that. I just want people to be left to their own opinion about Romeo Lacoste admitting to having conversations of a sexual nature with a minor on at least one occasion. I just want people to make up their own minds about that because I don't want to influence that in any way. So there you go. That's the summary of this entire weird saga that's going on. I guess I'd forgotten he existed. I'd forgotten he existed. What is your opinion on maps? Well, I think maps, beautiful wall hangings. I mean, I think they make great wall hangings. That's what I'm saying. Maps can go on the wall, decorate a room out. Very nice. Justin Ung says, man, I can't even talk to 20-year-olds. The hell do you even talk to minors about? Well, I don't. I talk to my children when I need to, but that's about it for minors. But you could maybe ask what Romeo Lacoste allegedly talks to minors about. According to him, it would be conversations of a sexual nature. So, I guess if you don't have anything else to talk about and you're Romeo, you could do that. YouTube is a weird place, man. Or like the content creation world is a really fucking weird place that people go and they come up with some weird things. But something that's not weird is actually the sponsor of the show today, fieldofgreens.com. When I said they weren't weird, that's a little bit of a lie because who drinks vegetables? Hippies and vegans drink vegetables, but other people can drink vegetables as well. And this is one way to do it. It is fieldofgreens.com. You can use promo code NOSE. You can get a little bit off of your Field of Greens order. Here's what it looks like. Now, I'm not actually drinking any tonight because I didn't get my water bottle ready, but I'll show you what it is, and we'll talk about it very quickly. This is a Field of Greens container. Inside this, it's reflecting my light. Inside this is some powdered up fruits and vegetables. That's it. Organic fruit, organic vegetables, dried up, ground up into a fine powder. You can add it to water. They have a couple different flavors. They have the original flavor, wild berry, which is my favorite. This is lemon lime, which was not good when I started, but is better now. And you just add it to water or any other beverage you want. If you're like me and you don't always want to have vegetables around to cook and eat because they get cumbersome, you're on the go, whatever. They're annoying to cook when you're cooking other stuff, or you just like steak, you can have one of these drinks. It's a serving of fruit and vegetables, provides those basic health benefits of having a varied diet. Look, and that's what this is all about, is just getting those things into your diet without making you eat like a fucking pound of broccoli covered in butter and garlic. Even though that might be delicious, if you don't have time for it, this is a great way to get those vegetables on the go. It tastes good and it's very convenient. So with that said, if you're going to buy it, use promo code NOSE, get yourself a little discount. I actually really do like the product, but it's not for everybody. Drinking stuff that's powdered, that might not be your thing, but if it is, give it a shot. It wasn't really my thing, but I tried it. I liked it. Still like it. So most days I actually do drink it. I just didn't have it ready today. Wolfgang Deo, and I was already late enough. Wolfgang Deo says, Jesus, he loves the little children. Is he a map? Should hang maps on the wall. And with that, what we're going to do is read the YouTube super chats. Then we'll move over to Rumble for the rest of the show, where we will talk about Ethan Ralph and what the fuck is going on with the kill stream, with America First, with all of that. As far as I know, we'll kind of go through the story, the backstory of Internet Blood Sports and Ethan Ralph, again, as far as I know. And I'm going to get it wrong. And some of you weird autisms out there are going to know. They're going to be like, no, that's wrong. But this is my story to tell, motherfuckers. And so we'll talk that story through. We'll talk about this big update, because I haven't talked about Ralph or any of that drama in a long time. And we'll kind of catch up to speed on it. And then we'll move on after that. We got more of this to drink. So let's do this real quick. Jamie Moodley says, your Romeo stream with Birch was great. Please try to have Birch and Grand Admiral C on again. I've talked to them a couple times about doing it. They're usually really busy, but I haven't talked to them in a long time. I love those guys, so I would love to do it again. Maybe we should. So we'll check that out. Art the Clown says, Romeo's last YouTube video is a terrible song that talks about him loving women, and it's bad. Okay. Saint Greenpack says, please don't give Ralph traction by going on his show. He's the most insufferable person on the internet. He needs to fade into obscurity. Like I said, I have not made any decisions on what I'm going to do in regards to any potential appearances anywhere. Okay. Joel Reese says, how good would Gentleman's Military Special be? That is just military special, and it would be terrific. It's the best whiskey you could drink. Bobby0081, could this Lacoste thing be mistaken identity? Like he's mistaken my identity, or it's not him? Which one are you saying there? I'm not sure which one that's supposed to be. Let's see. Arclight says, Nick, please call Josh. You guys make a cute couple. I got to clarify something that happened, because it's really kind of annoying. So I like Josh. Josh has an incessant need to talk about my issues when they come up, and that's, what he's going to do is fine. Here's the problem. So the other day, Josh said a couple things that are demonstrably untrue. And I reached out to tell him. He corrected one of them, but I don't think he corrected the other one. And I don't think he meant them to be untrue. Like, I give him the benefit of the doubt on this. I don't think he meant them to be untrue, but I don't know if he's fully corrected them, because, like, I don't watch Josh's show. Sometimes people send me clips or information about it. That's fine, but I don't watch it. Not personal. I don't watch much of anything. Okay. But Josh said two things. First, he said that he asked me for help on an issue and that I just didn't respond to him. And he surmised, I guess, that I was mad at him, and that is why I didn't respond to him. That isn't true, though. I did respond to Josh. Now, I think maybe, and I won't disclose exactly why, but when I told him, I'm like, dude, I actually answered you and said I was looking into the matter that you had asked about. I don't want to talk about what it was or anything like that, but I did answer you, and I sent him the screenshot that showed that he had seen the message. Now, in fairness to Josh, there's a technical issue, and I can't disclose too much about it because it would then possibly reveal some way that something about Josh that I don't want to do that. I don't think it's anything bad, and people would probably already know, but I just don't know in regards to how we communicate. So, but with that, there was a technical issue in which something had to be done for him to see that message after he had seen it the first time. So he may not have realized that he saw the message. And then with that other thing happening, like he might not have remembered that it happened. But I did respond to Josh. Again, for whatever Josh is going to say is fine. Like, it's up to him, I guess. But I didn't stop talking to him. So I wanted to clear that up because I just thought that that's kind of like lame to have sitting out there. Oh, Nick goes to Josh. Like, I didn't do that. So the other thing is he stated on his live stream that Mark Randazza was not my lawyer anymore, which is also not true. And I'm not sure where he got that, but I do believe he fixed that on the stream, because that's when I messaged him and I was like, dude, what are you talking about? Randazza is still my lawyer. I'm not sure why you think he's been removed from the case or anything like that. So very, very fucking weird on those issues. Like, I still don't know where he got that idea, but I just wanted to clear that up with that. Like, I don't hold any malice or grudges towards Josh at all. So Jesse Bear 2115 says, did you know it's legal to own a nuclear weapon? You just have to fill out an ATF form and pay the tax stamp. Yes, we talked about that with either Fudbusters or Benjamin Blatt on the show before. It's kind of wild. Jesus Davila gives a socialist thumbs up. Thank you. Wolfgang Deo says, which form? How much is the tax? By the way, Jesus is a map. No, loves the children. Wolfgang, it's a special form for private ownership of a nuclear weapon and nuclear material. I don't know that anyone's actually successfully filled out that form and paid the stamp. Slap.com says Juice and Ralph made up on the kill stream today. I heard something about that. But again, I don't watch this stuff. It's not on my normal viewing list. Lord of the Kino says, stop staging damage control sessions with turkeys. I can't tell you like how silly that accusation is, but okay. I'll stop doing it. So yes, someone clipped something out of my locals call-in show that allegedly I staged, which is a much better move than just what I was already doing of just letting the topics not be discussed constantly, was to have them discussed. That's definitely what I wanted. So yeah, good job. Nice deductive skills there. Bobby 0081 says, I mean that Lacoste mistakenly hit you with the DMCA, but meant it for someone else. None of it makes sense. It doesn't make sense, but it is a video directly critical of him. So that part makes sense. Wolfgang Deo says, by the way, my mother is German and says she's Christian, and yet Saturday I almost was driven to shoot myself in front of her. Insane weekend and like. Well, let me just reiterate this in case it needs to be said. Thank you for not killing yourself, and please do not do that. So there you go. All right. With that, we are going over to Rumble. But as mentioned, with the aforementioned staged calls, typically once a week or once every other week, I do a call-in show on my locals. And so if you have questions or comments or whatever, you can simply sign up for locals and join one of those streams. They tend to happen after one of the weeknight shows. And I would love to have you call in. Call-in shows are a blast. And rather than watching a random clip out of nowhere about what happens on my locals, you could just watch the video and see the whole thing in its entire context. So you can do that or not. It's up to you. But you can do that on recatalog.locals.com. And with that, I will catch you guys over on Rumble, or I will catch you tomorrow on YouTube. And we will talk very, very soon. Have a good night. Peace. Peace.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen,